we are going to update our cash and trash list in the NFL based on the AFC and NFC championship games from this Sunday, however you say it. Alrighty. Here we go. The cash list going into this week. We had Josh Allen. We had Aaron Rodgers. We had Stevie Diggs. Cam Akers. We have to take him off. Aaron Jones and the Bills defense. And none of these people were... None of these people continued to be cash. How about that? Unfortunately. So let's go. We'll reevaluate all these cash list members here. Do some additions because we do have some good additions here. Some solid ones. What do we got? We got 5 additions. So that's pretty good, right? 5 players being cash in a championship game. I can definitely get behind it. Alrighty, so Josh Allen. Ooh, unfortunate. He turned the ball over once, and he just didn't do enough. He didn't take that next step. I mean, the step that he took from last season to this season is the biggest step maybe in NFL history, but he still needs to take another step to get to the Super Bowl, to beat the greatest possibly team, best offensive team ever in this Chiefs team. So Josh Allen, he played well, but I really think this kind of Bills offense really clammed up in the playoffs. Now, if you want to put the blame on Josh Allen, you possibly could. Maybe, the playoff pressure getting to him, facing better, actually good defenses, on a week-to-week, back-to-back kind of basis instead of, one good defense in week 7, then you go week 8, 9, 10, 11 without facing a good defense. Now here's one in week 12. You don't face one week 13, 14, another good defense in week 15, and that's really it. So facing good defenses back-to-back, facing good offenses back-to-back, having to score, 39 points in this game. It's tough, and you also could possibly put it on the play calling as well, Sean McDermott or their offensive coordinator, because, this offense had no problem putting up, 35, 40 points. They had no problem doing that, but here in the playoffs, they really never got their full offensive potential. Close game against the Colts, they put up 27 against the Ravens. 7 of those were a pick six, so really only 10 offensively. And then we kind of see it here. Really only 15, really only 15. We see this last kind of touchdown drive ending with 4 minutes left, if you want to count that one, but still only 21 points, and we know that's not going to get it done against a Chiefs team, because they could put up 21 points in one quarter. They could put up 21 points in half a quarter if they wanted, honestly. So just unfortunate by Josh Allen. Decent game. Good first AFC championship game. I'll give him that. Very good first AFC championship game. But we're talking about, Tom Brady, who's been to 10 Super Bowls. We are talking about Patrick Mahomes, who has already been to 2 AFC championship games. So, it's just unfortunate the timing of when Josh Allen's getting good. There's just absolutely greatness in the league, and it's unfortunate because, this Bills team is very, very good. So, with all that being said, Josh Allen has to come off the cash list. Alrighty, now we go to Aaron Rodgers, and the man was good, very good, but he wasn't clutch, and because he wasn't clutch, he's not cash. He loses a game, can't get to the Super Bowl, lost to Tom Brady, but his stats were good. 33 of 48 for 346 yards. He had to be the guy because the running game got absolutely shut down really throughout the entire game. Nothing big, no big runs, no explosive runs, so Bucs were just planning to shut down the pass, and they just only had to look for the pass because they knew the running game could do nothing. So Aaron Rodgers, good game here, but not being clutch. Can't keep him on the cash list. Not converting there. We're talking about 3 straight downs inside the 10-yard line 2 times, and he can't come away with a touchdown. One touchdown, that's all he needed on 2 of those field goal drives, in the second half of the game, and he couldn't do it. So good game, not cash, not clutch. Unfortunate for Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about, he only had 1 throw, he only had 1 real play, and then penalties back him up 10. Now we're talking about, first or second and goal from the 21. We're not talking about that. We're talking about first and goal from the 8, second and goal from the 8, third and goal from the 8, field goal. Next time, first and goal from the 8, second and goal from the 8, third and goal from the 8. 4th down, they go for the field goal. So it's just Aaron Rodgers not being clutch, and it is truly unfortunate. So he is no longer cash. Alrighty, Stephon Diggs, and kind of same thing like Josh Allen. He didn't take that next step. Stephon Diggs has been absolutely fantastic for the Bills the entire season. 80 yards, 90 yards, 100 yards, touchdown, multiple touchdowns. He's been doing that all season. But this game, he really needed to do something more. He needed that 150-yard game, 2-3 touchdowns, kind of like what Tyreek Hill is working with. But Stephon Diggs, only 6 catches, 77 yards, 11 targets, 6 catches. I mean, it just wasn't working. Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs this game. So truly unfortunate there, Stephon Diggs. So once again, a decent game by Stephon Diggs, but not cash. So we got to take him off. Alrighty, Cam Akers, we kept him on for one extra week just because of how well he played in that Rams loss last week against the Packers. Packers. Yeah. So very well done to Cam Akers. Obviously, we have to take him off the cash list, but we kept him on here one more week. So very, very well done, Cam Akers. Alrighty, Aaron Jones. And as we said, the Packers running game got absolutely locked up, and they really didn't kind of stick with it. We see only 6, well, they kind of did by committee, but 6 carries by Aaron Jones for 27 yards. That led the team. Not great there. Jamal Williams, 7 carries, 23 yards. A.J. Dillon, 3 carries, 17 yards. So just nothing consistent, no big explosive runs that made the Bucs kind of focus, run heavy. They could just focus pass heavy all game. That's what they did, and they win because of it. So unfortunate for Aaron Jones. Definitely. I mean, that's not even a good game. That's not even like a good game. So it's definitely not cash. Alrighty, and then the Bills defense. Well, folks, I mean, did you see what Tyreek Hill did to this defense? Obliterated it. Do you see what Travis Kelce did to this defense? Obliterated it. 172 yards for Tyreek Hill, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns for Travis Kelce. I mean, that's not good defense, folks, unfortunately. You let their 2 weapons absolutely do whatever they want against you. That's not good defense. Now, I will say the one great thing that the Bills defense did is lock up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, because we saw the first meeting this season, 169 yards by that man. He only had 7. Yeah, he went from 169 to 7. So in that aspect, the Bills defense cleaned it up. But, when you plug one hole, 2 more open up, and those holes are Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So they held the Chiefs to 38 points. Is that good? Not really either. So Bills defense, unfortunately, not cash. So look at this, folks. A blank cash list. No. Well, don't get too concerned. We've still got some additions. So, alrighty, let's start here. We got to go to the Bucs. The Bucs game for this first edition. And we got to give it up to this defense. And, they shut down the run. They didn't really shut down Aaron Rodgers, but they shut him down when they needed to the most. And I'll tell you, I've kind of been saying it all week. I mean, let's kind of flip it, on the reverse side. We were saying, Aaron Rodgers deserves all this blame for, not converting in the red zone down the stretch. But let's give it up to this Bucs defense a little bit. I mean, bending and not breaking. I mean, they just gave up 2 straight touchdowns. The lead is starting to dwindle. Tom Brady just threw another interception, and the defense forces a 3-and-out. They're feeling good. Momentum has swung back to the Bucs. But then Tom Brady goes and throws another interception, and once again, the momentum has swung to the Packers, and the defense forces another 3-and-out. Momentum has swung back to the Bucs. They get a field goal. Momentum is staying with the Bucs. Now momentum is slowly starting to shift back to the Packers because they're on this nice drive here, 58 yards, getting into the red zone, but they hold them. They hold them to a field goal. The Bucs defense bends and doesn't break. 3 straight chances of Aaron Rodgers slinging it at the end zone, and the Bucs say, no, not even one completion. No completions, not even letting you get closer. You're going to stay 8 yards away from us. 8 yards away from the score, and we're not going to let you have it. So the defense of this Bucs team really stepped up big, especially in this kind of first field goal kind of scenario when they could have tied it up 14-14. So very well done to this Bucs team. Super easy for the Packers to win if the Bucs defense wasn't stepping up because Tom Brady was making super mistakes in the second half. But give it up for this Bucs defense. Truly, truly well done. Bending and not breaking. And hey, I can definitely get behind that. That's, one of the best things. If your defense is bending and not breaking, I can get behind it all day. Settling for field goals, getting turnovers when you need them. Absolutely magnificent. I'll take a bending and not breaking defense all day over, a defense that, is just good. A defense that is, not even letting a team get between, get over like the 40-yard line. I'll take the bend but don't break because you build experience. You build kind of clutch scenarios. Game management, game scenarios, you see them all, you know how to react. So yes, I would take a bend but don't break defense all day over a closeout defense, not even letting you get past, the 40-yard line. Alrighty, so Bucs defense going on the cash list for the last game of the season. We'll see, who stays on the cash list for the entire offseason, and the Bucs defense has a chance to do that. Alrighty, let's go to, now we got to go to the Chiefs game, and folks, I'm about to add everybody on this Chiefs team. Almost everybody on this Chiefs team is coming on the cash list. Let's try and do it by order. So let's start here with, Tyreek Hill. Obviously, I think he was the best person on this Chiefs team, just shredding the Bills, catching it, on the 1 yard, or catching it, on the line of scrimmage, and then just being super athletic, super agile, and still getting 10 yards, picking up the first, running behind the entire defense, still catching the ball. You cannot guard this man. You can't. It's not that, you can't because your defense isn't, up to it. It's just the man, he's unguardable, folks. So Tyreek Hill, an absolutely magnificent game against the Bills. And for that, we got to add this man on the cash list. Alrighty, going back to the Chiefs game for our next edition, and I think we've kind of held this man off the cash list a couple of times, probably our mistake, but finally here, let's add this man, Travis Kelce, 13 receptions, 118 yards, and 2 scores. Once again, when you're trying to, cover Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, it's literally too much. These are almost two unguardable people. Everybody wants to talk about Gronk, but Travis Kelce is better than what Gronk was in his prime, which is crazy to think about. So Travis Kelce, very, very, very well done. Absolutely needs to be on this cash list. So very well done to him. Alrighty, our next edition, final edition from the Chiefs team. And then we got one more edition. But our last edition from this Chiefs team, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes. I was contemplating even putting him on here. I thought I was only going to do the receivers, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 38, super efficient, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, no mistakes, no fumbles, no turnovers, no interceptions. Just a pure, flawless game. Championship game at home, getting the ball to your playmakers. Look at this. Tyreek Hill, 11 targets, 9 receptions. Travis Kelce, 15 targets, 13 receptions. This man, Patrick Mahomes, was placing the ball absolutely on the money. And, the catches were all great, but we have to give it up to the passes as well. So very well done, Patrick Mahomes, going on the cash list heading into the Super Bowl. This is a time where you want to be cash, folks, truly. Alrighty. And then our last edition here. Gotta kind of split this man up in half a little bit. Kind of crazy to think about, but Tom Brady, first half was absolutely on par. The multiple third down conversions, the ball placement, getting you guys 21 points in the first half. He really floundered in the second half. I'm not even really counting this touchdown that he threw because it was a fumble by the Packers that set them up on their own 8-yard line, on the Packers' 8-yard line. It's one play, real simple score. But Tom Brady, 3 interceptions in the second half, really getting nothing done. Really in the grand scheme of things, the Bucs put up 3 points in the second half. Folks, that's it. They got outscored 16-3 in the second half. Really should have lost the game, but as we said, the Bucs defense really kind of stepping up big. So first half, Tom Brady, 21 points. Accuracy was fantastic. Didn't turn the ball over. I mean, look at this. 4 plays, 73 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, we all know this one. 5 plays, 51 yards to Scotty Miller right at the end of half. And then the opening drive. I mean, this really set the tone for the Bucs for the entire game. Without this drive, if the Bucs went 3-and-out on the first series, I think it was going to be a blowout from that point on from the Packers. Aaron Rodgers could have been playing flawless. 0-0 game with their first chance at the ball, going up 7-0. It could have got ugly from that point because now Tom Brady's starting to force it a little bit. We saw what he did when he was trying to force it a little bit in the second half. 3 straight interceptions. I mean, he could have did that from the get-go in the first quarter, but he chose to be really, really good with the ball. Absolutely precise. I mean, we'll watch more of this on Wednesday, tomorrow on the show, but look at this. 3rd and 4 pickup, 27-yard pass play. 3rd and 9, 14-yard pass play. 3rd and 7 touchdown. I mean, super clutch, not settling for field goal, something that Aaron Rodgers had to do in the second half. So, I mean, Tom Brady really played absolutely magnificent in the first half. So, for that, we're going to get first half Brady on the cash list. Alrighty, so that is going to round out. That's going to do it for the cash list going into Super Bowl, folks. Bucs defense is cash. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, all cash in doing it at the biggest game of the season. And then Tom Brady in the first half was cash as well. Alrighty, let's go to the opposite side of the list, the trash list, where we got all these 2020 trash list Hall of Famers. Because if you end the season on the trash list, the only way to get off the trash list is to prove that you're not trash. So all these players having to wait till next season if they get the opportunity, because we got Mitch Trubisky on here, folks. He may not be on the roster next season. Alrighty. So far, the 2020 Hall of Fame trash list has Andy Dalton, Brandon Allen, the Dolphins, Mitch Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater, Russell Wilson, Frank Reich, Big Ben, Mike Tomlin. And now, since these 3 players have had the week to be on the trash list, we can now elevate them to the Hall of Fame status because they haven't been playing. They did not play this week. So here we go. Lamar Jackson. Unfortunate, throwing a pick 6 against the Bills, really squandering away the game. Welcome to the 2020 Hall of Fame trash list, my friend. Unfortunate, truly unfortunate. But, I don't make the rules here on Takes by Fans. The producer. The producer does. So, hey, take it up with him. Alrighty, Lamar Jackson, 2020 Hall of Famer, trash list. All right, Rashard Higgins fumbling out of the end zone. The cardinal sin of what you don't do really turned around the game. Could have won. The Browns could have. We could have been talking about the Browns this week, folks. Could have been. But Rashard Higgins decides to fumble in the back of the end zone. So for that, welcome to the 2020 Hall of Fame trash list. If you're making it into the playoffs, you cannot be trash, folks. Trash in the regular season, I can maybe forget. I can forgive one game of trash. But in the playoffs, when everybody has to be playing at 100%, there is no room for trash. So I don't want to hear, this is absurd. You can't be putting these players on a Hall of Fame trash list because of one performance. No, I can't. It's the playoffs. This holds a lot of weight. If you're getting to the playoffs, if you're going to perform, if you're going to compete against the greatest of the greats, you can't be trash. So, unfortunate there. Alrighty, and then Drew Brees, oh boy, the last member that we have to induct into the 2020 Hall of Fame trash class. Rightfully so. 3 interceptions. Who does that? Maybe our next trash list nominee. Maybe. So Drew Brees, unfortunate. Alrighty, let's go to some additions. We only have one. So that's good. That's actually really good. Nobody was trash in this Bills-Chiefs game, which is really, really good. Yes, Josh Allen threw the pick, but he still played decent overall. He wasn't playing trash. The run game, yes, it didn't get going, but it wasn't like trash. It wasn't fumbling. More of the play calling. They just called a lot more passes than runs. So overall, the Bills weren't trash, just some not good running performances. Chiefs, they won the game. Really, nobody's trash when you win a game. Packers, nobody was really trash. Aaron Rodgers played really good. He just wasn't clutch. I'm not counting that as trash. The run game, once again, it really wasn't great. It didn't get anything really accomplished, but it wasn't trash. And the Bucs, they won the game, so obviously nothing trash, but there was really something that was trash in half the game. That give you a clue on what we're doing here. Well, we just put Tom Brady first half on the cash list, but Tom Brady in the second half was absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. 3 straight turnovers, 3 straight interceptions. That literally should lose you a game. The fact that it didn't lose you the game is absolutely absurd. So, Tom Brady, second half, is going up on the trash list because it's almost unforgivable. They're so lucky he won that game, because if Tom Brady loses a game because he throws 3 interceptions in the second half, I mean, people are going to have a field day with it. We probably would have had a field day with it as well. But, he gets a win, so he kind of escapes that 3 interception game. But we're still going to put him on this trash list. He can still kind of earn his way off of it this season because he's playing in 2 weeks, which is good. So we'll either have Tom Brady cash or trash next week or 2 weeks in the Super Bowl, most likely. But Tom Brady in that second half was absolutely trash. He played like Drew Brees. I mean, Drew Brees, 3 interceptions in the game. Tom Brady, 3 interceptions in the game. Luckily, Tom Brady won. So Tom Brady in the second half is trash. And that's the only trash performance. So that's good. I don't want to see any trash out there. I do not want to see any trash. I would love to have an entire cash list that's off this page that we have to create a new page for. But, we don't have that. We got, 5 little players on here all being cash.